Greetings, men of culture. Welcome to my China headlight video. Today I present to you unboxing, review, and installation guide for these Chinese headlights. Now, back in December, I posted a Facebook teaser video showing the startup sequence of the headlights, and surprise, surprise, it got mixed reviews. Quite a few people seemed interested, but there were also a few who seemed pretty bothered. AZ Hadi says, nah, OEM glass or nothing. Well, as you can see, my glass headlights got cracked. Sam Lin says, kill it with fire, throw it in the wok and cook it for dinner, hiya. And Chris Bryant says, looks straight out of 2010 to me, but if you like them. Well, Chris, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them, and I'm not sure how I feel about your grammar. That being said, I'm not sure what you mean by 2010. I could only imagine that you're talking about the 2013 to 2015 Lx470. But in my opinion, those headlights don't look anything like these headlights. And is it really fair to say that we're stuck in 2010 when most modern car companies are utilizing cob LED accented headlights? And while I do love the original look of the Lx470, what most enthusiasts fail to realize is that among normal people, the Lx470 is considered to have one of the ugliest front ends of any vehicle. Now, if you want to know what the best option for upgrading your headlights in an Lx470 is, well, it's probably a Morimoto retrofit. But if you need something new and you want to try something different and you don't give a crap about trying unproven, untested headlights on long road trips in which if they fail, you'll have to replace them somehow, some way while you're in the middle of buttfuck New Mexico, well, then give these a shot. I happen to be in a privileged position where I get to be the guinea pig for these headlights, and I'll be reporting on how they do for the next couple years. So if you want to see the results, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thank you. My initial review of the headlights is that they're far brighter than your stock headlights. They have a clean cutoff. When I pull up to cars at stoplights, I can see that the LED is cutting off below their trunk line on most cars. There is a pretty heavy hotspot in the middle of the beam, although I haven't messed around with the lateral adjustments, only the up and down. The high beams are very bright, and overall I'm very satisfied with the performance of the lights. My only concern is the longevity and reliability. In conclusion, would I recommend these headlights? In general, no. If you take your vehicle on long road trips like I do, probably not the best idea to put your faith in an unproven company. I also think they only look good on black LXs. Although that white one in the eBay ad with the black wheels is actually not looking too bad, maybe. I think the headlights have a modern but classy look that matches the LX. and they seem to be higher quality and better made than previous iterations. One of the other members in the Facebook group also has a black LX with these headlights, and he has an aftermarket front bumper, and I think they look really well together. It looks really tough and sporty. And it also solves the problem of not having a turn signal anymore when you delete your bumper, since the turn signal is integrated. He also ran these matching accessory fog lights before he installed his aftermarket bumper. Let's hop into the installation, shall we? This will not be a comprehensive front-end disassembly guide. For that, you may want to reference other videos. I would like to give a big shout out to Crazy for Cruiser, who has put out some really good videos lately, and he's my new favorite 100 series creator. Seems like a really cool guy, and maybe like the engineer type, and he seems just really passionate about these vehicles. So go ahead and check him out. Link is in the description. Three main things that I can tell you about this project is that I did not have to fully remove the center portion of the trim piece that sits between the grille and bumper. I simply removed each end and was able to remove the headlights without removing the center portion. Secondly, the plugs that come on these headlights did not fit my 2006, or at least two of them did not. 2 out of 2 did. I will give more details about the wiring a little later on in the video. And finally, there is a clearance issue on the passenger side headlight. There are some lines, I don't know if they're AC lines or what, they're metal lines, and they do not allow perfect fitment of the headlight. It's not a big deal. They still look fine in the end, but you're gonna have to finagle the mounting points where the bolts attach to mount the headlight. I had to basically switch up the order in which I installed the bolts. All right, it's wiring time. Let's get funky, ladies and gentlemen. I highly recommend you do not follow what I did. Yeah, I utilized some leftover parts from the old headlights. Like I said, the plugs are not going to fit if you have a 2006 like me, so I'm utilizing the plug that fits, and I'm going to wire it into that bit. If you happen to own a Quinn wire stripper, go ahead and throw it in the trash and get a new one. Or if you can't afford that, just squeeze it real tight in places that you shouldn't have to in order to make it work. I'll be utilizing some electrical connectors that I purchased on Amazon. This is the type with a spade connector that connects to a clampy connector. Again, just go ahead and take that Quinn tool and throw it in the trash. Get yourself a better brand. Cannot recommend anything from them. Little pull test says it's okay. Again, please find a better way to do this unless you like to see your car burn down. So to clarify, this is the male plug that I snipped off a little earlier from the old headlights. This is for the low beam, I believe. And you can see I've attached my little red connectors. This is the low beam plug on our new headlights, and you can see I've attached my little clampy connectors. Switching over to the high beams now, I'll have to use a different strategy as the plug on the old headlights is actually attached to the housing. So what I'm going to do is just snip off the existing plug that came with the headlights, and I'm going to put my little spade connectors on there. So while I was able to preserve the integrity of the LX470's wiring on the low beam side, unfortunately I am going to be clamping on my connectors to the wires here. If you were smarter and better prepared than I, you might be able to remove the wires from this plug and plug it into a proper plug and just have a nice clean install without having to modify any of your OEM harnesses. Once you've got both of those attached, you're ready for headlight install. Go ahead and send that yellow wire with the two plugs down to the turn signal area. The corner light is a direct fit. Go ahead and plug that in, nice and easy. And then I'm going to take my makeshift harness with the spade connectors, and I'm going to plug those into the clampy connectors, which are attached to the wires for the low beam of the new headlights. You can take a look at the wiring diagram that the headlight manufacturer provides, and then you can look up online which one of those harness wires on the LX470 is positive or negative. And I just guessed on which one to plug in where, and it worked out the first time. Now onto the high beams. If you remember, I clipped off the plug that came with the headlights and put on my spade connectors, which I am now plugging in into the clampy connectors that I attached to the LX470 high beam wires. Once you've finished that, stash the headlights in a safe manner and make your way down to the turn signal. Simply unplug the plug that is connected to your turn signal and plug it into one of the plugs in the yellow wire, and then plug the other plug on the yellow wire into your turn signal. I'm sorry I don't have video showing that area, and I'm not going to go down there and get some right now, but I assure you it's quite simple. Some of the people in the Facebook comments mentioned that they had trouble with hyper flashing. All I can say is that it seems the solution is to use the stock incandescent bulb turn signal. So even if you don't want to run that bottom turn signal anymore and you want to replace it with some fog lights or something, you should maintain the incandescent bulb to be connected to the system and just hide it away somewhere where it can't be seen. If you do not use the incandescent bulb, it will probably hyper flash, and you may need to use a resistor of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what resistors you would use because I'm just using the incandescent bulb right now. Now, prepare to struggle a bit with this part. Like I said earlier, the passenger headlight has fitment issues. In hindsight, I want to say that I connected the mounting bolt on the front inner section next to the radiator first, and then I connected the outer one up on the fender area. It will not feel good when you're doing it. It'll feel like you're forcing it into that position that it doesn't want to be in, but when it is fit in there finally, it will look proper and correct. And you will feel like you have just defied the laws of physics.
it all night. She want it all night. Say she want a good one. We'll come in the room. You